Welcome to New Mexico, the home of holy stairs, holy dirt, the world's best chilies, and people crazy enough to stand and fly in a wicker basket.
There's a movement happening. Catholics who are bold and contagious, who aren't afraid to make their faith known because they know it's what makes life worth living. I'm Chris Stefanick, a husband, father of 6, and I speak to over 80,000 people every year. And all around the world, I get to see that movement as I meet Catholics who inspire me and who show just how amazing faith makes everyday life. I'm excited to share their stories with you. Welcome to Real Life Catholic.
The Kingdom of New Mexico was claimed for the Spanish crown in 1540, and Santa Fe was founded as the capital here 10 years before the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock. The convergence of Spanish, Native American, and Catholic cultures produced something unique in American history. And just the right convergence of climate, wind patterns, and balloon-friendly laws also make New Mexico the mecca of hot air ballooning. We're going to touch a hot air balloon as before it takes off. Woohoo! Look at this, this is seriously just a balloon. The basket's about 650 pounds, and then there's 1,000 pounds of people in the basket. So I mean, this is kind of a psychotic hobby. It seems like a really bad idea. If that flame doesn't give you a rush of adrenaline and testosterone, I don't know what will. That's epic. So we're at the International Balloon Fiesta with, his official title is the Lord of Balloons. No,
I wouldn't go that far.
What's your job title?
I'm a member of the board of directors of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
This is massive. I mean,
this is magic.
Seriously.
This is fabulous, yes.
What makes all this come together?
It takes about 3,000 volunteers. We probably have 556 balloons that are going to be going up today.
Oh man,
so it's awesome.
That's unreal.
I got one of the inventors over here. This is Dr. Tom O'Connell.
So this is like, you're legendary around here.
That's what he said.
Wow, how many people are drawn here a year to come watch the balloons?
Last year we had 950,000 people. We also have about 550 balloons that we're going to be launching.
Okay, deep question here. We're drawn to things like this because of what it gives our soul, gives our spirit, not just the adrenaline rush. What do you learn about yourself and life and God by doing this kind of thing?
This is a community, a family of people. And you know, that's what it's all about. It's about the spirit, and it's about what you believe in, and it's about why you do what you do and how you do it. And I can't think of a better way than this community of balloonists that come together. And I'm so glad to be a part of this group. They've made me family. I think it's time.
We have a balloon right over here, you know.
Well, I think we should. Why don't we get this cranked up and let's get these boys in the balloon.
Let's get going.
Let's go.
Let's get going.
So apparently because of rain in the forecast, they had to cancel my balloon ride. It's a little deflating. Since I was grounded for the day, I took the opportunity to ask some locals what makes New Mexico so special.
Being New Mexican is experiencing the whole culture of the Native Americans and Catholicism.
My favorite New Mexican food would have to be red chili enchiladas.
These stuffed sopapillas.
You don't have to travel really far to experience like the richness of the faith and the beauty that we have right here in New Mexico.
If you are a New Mexican, you have to go to Chimayo.
You have to go on a pilgrimage to Chimayo.
And you have to go on a pilgrimage to Chimayo.
Okay, I get it. We'll visit Chimayo. But on the way, we have to stop and see the famous Holy Stairs. Built in the late 1800s, the story of how it got here and the staircase itself have both inspired and puzzled people ever since. And I'm blessed to meet with a man who's devoted his life to sharing this unsolved mystery.
Chris, welcome to Loretto Chapel Museum.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Great to have you visit us. Let me show you around.
Can't wait. Beautiful.
This is it. Miraculous staircase.
I know nothing about it. Tell me what makes these amazing.
Chris, there are 3 mysteries about our staircase. The first mystery is who built it. The sisters in their piety thought St. Joseph had come from heaven and built it. This strange man had come in off the desert by himself on a donkey, offered to build it, worked inside this chapel by himself for 3 months and then vanished.
Literally, a guy came on a donkey.
by himself.
Wow.
And when he showed up on the very last day of their prayers and offered to build it, they took it as an answer to their prayer, so they hired him right on the spot. But he insisted upon working in here for 3 months by himself, never allowing anyone to see him work on it.
Wow.
And then one morning, he just vanished. And when he vanished, the sisters went to the only lumberyard to at least pay for the materials, and the lumberyard said that the man never got any materials from them at all. And when the people of Santa Fe talked to each other, they realized that no one ever saw him bringing wood into the chapel during the 3 months he was locked up in here. That's why the sisters were convinced he had come from heaven.
So they prayed a novena. Last day of the novena, guy shows up from the desert on a donkey.
Yes.
Coincidence?
No such thing as a coincidence.
No,
Absolutely. The second mystery is scientific. Some architects come here and tell us they think this is impossible because there's no pole down the center to hold it up.
So they have to have, I mean, you got a spiral staircase, you need a pole in the center.
Or it has to be built into the wall, or it has to have a floor between each turn. But ours is made from 94 pieces of wood, and it is flexible. And engineers say there's a world of difference between the two, and they're mystified that this stands. And the third mystery is the wood. The sisters didn't know where the wood came from, so I gave a coarse sample of the wood to a U.S. naval scientist, and he researched that wood for 15 months and determined it to be a form of Picea spruce, which is a softwood. But he said the cell structure in this wood was so dense, so tight, and so square that it gave it the properties of a hardwood. But it did not match up with any other Picea spruce on Earth.
Only available here.
This is it. This is it. Did you want to go up?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So how does it feel to be on the stairs that St. Joseph built?
It's awesome, right? The Holy Stairs of Santa Fe, brought to you by St. Joseph himself.
Chris, it's such a great pleasure to have you visit us today.
Thanks
you
so much for
coming.
having me, Richard.
Absolutely.
Praise God. Sometimes we think the stuff of our daily lives is too small for God. I mean, why would the God of the universe care about my sick dog, my relationship problems, or my financial problems? And yet, He does. You know, think about Jesus' first miracle. My first miracle? Yeah, I'd have made like the sky turn red or a mountain appear in the middle of the ocean or something like that. I'd have done something shocking. He did something shockingly simple and ordinary. He's at a wedding, they ran out of wine, so he turned water into wine so the party could continue. Now, there's all sorts of beautiful theological meaning to that, but the one layer of meaning that hits my heart the most is that the God of the universe cares about the stuff of our daily lives. So don't hold back when you pray. Give it all to Him. Lord, my grandpa's sick. Give him strength, heal him. I got marriage problems. Show me what to do. I have financial problems. My car just broke down. Show me how to make ends meet. And He cares about that stuff because He cares about you.
The land of enchantment has officially got me enchanted. We continue our journey to Chimayo, where God takes our dirt and makes it holy, literally. Many consider Chimayo to be the spiritual heart of New Mexico. Here to tell us about it is a real-life Catholic and New Mexican, Vivian.
So Vivian, you're a devout Catholic young adult. How did you find your faith?
I was raised Catholic. My mom is Catholic. It's part of my culture. It's just the way things have always been.
Beautiful. So it's just kind of in your family, in your culture, and naturally in your heart.
Yep, that's what it is.
What do you do for a living?
I work in a pregnancy resource center. We're actually right across from Planned Parenthood. So we're really fighting to get the moms to come to us instead of going to somewhere else.
That's awesome. Praise God for what you do. Well, I'm here to get some dirt.
All right,
So,
let's go get some dirt
Let's
then.
do it.
A pilgrimage is a sacred journey to a holy place. It's also a sacrificial offering we can make to God for loved ones that we carry in our hearts as we go. About 300,000 pilgrims visit this site every year, including tens of thousands who journey here on foot every Good Friday. Many walking all night from as far as Albuquerque, which is a 90-minute drive by car. It's an amazing part of the spiritual landscape of New Mexico.
Well, tell me the story of Chimayo.
Back in the 1800s, there was a friar who saw a light coming from a hill. So he decided to go find out what this light is and
Good
where
idea.
it's coming from. So he got there and he realized the light is coming from the ground. So he started digging and he found a crucifix. And so they go get the priest who lives in another city He comes back, they process with the cross back to Santa Cruz, where the priest is from and where there's a church, come back the next morning, and the crucifix is gone.
Wow.
So they come back, pick it up again, process with it all the way back to the church, leave it there again, next morning.
Let me guess where it is.
Back in the hole. So they kind of realized at that point that the crucifix was meant to stay in the dirt.
Yeah, you think?
And this dirt is special.
Wow.
Something's happening here.
And that dirt is right over there?
That dirt is right over there.
The crucifix is in the chapel?
It's still in the chapel.
Wow.
Known as the Lord's France of the United States, over the years, countless people have reported coming here in pilgrimage and having prayers answered, and hearts and bodies healed by God, blessing them through holy dirt.
Because the crucifix was found in the dirt, people started associating the dirt with the crucifix and that it must be holy since the crucifix was meant to stay there. So they started using the dirt like to bless themselves, or they would make a paste and wipe it on wherever their affliction was.
And hence the miracles, and hence the
hence all the miracles.
The pilgrimage spot, people still coming here and experiencing healings and praying for all sorts of things to be healed.
All sorts of things.
Well, let's go pray.
All right, let's go do that.
Excellent.
Humbled to join the hundreds of thousands who have come here for over 200 years to pray and to get me some holy dirt.
Thanks so much for bringing me here.
You're welcome.
Got my bag of holy dirt to bring home and pray over people with.
Good.
I actually was here before, about 5 years ago.
Really?
And I got holy dirt for my wife, who was heading into her, what was it? 5th C-section. She had 6 C-sections, so she's a saint, right? But she developed this problem after the last few deliveries where something would just go wrong chemically, where she had this intense anxiety and paranoia that she was struggling with, just for about a month. And after that delivery, I could tell about a week or 2 later, she was in that state of mind. And I went and got the holy dirt and I blessed her forehead with it. And instantly, gone.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so that's my little mini Chimayo miracle story.
That's really cool.
God takes care of us, through these tangible signs and all these little ways in our lives. So, but thanks so much for sharing the story with me and with our viewers.
Yeah.
And now, your mom's gonna cook us some real New Mexican food.
She is.
Yes. Let's do this.
All right.
Thank you. Why do we crazy Catholics have all these smells and bells and beads and holy water and holy dirt? Why do we have all these tangible expressions of faith? Because if you haven't noticed, we're not angelic beings. We're not just pure spirit. We're spirit and flesh and blood. We're soul and body. And we have a God who meets us where we're at. He did that by becoming flesh 2,000 years ago. He did that when he encountered a man who was born blind, and he spit in the dirt and made mud with his saliva and smeared it on his eyes to heal him. He did that by leaving us a visible church, by leaving us sacraments, so we can have these tangible encounters with him today. You see, God doesn't need any of that stuff. We do. But God meets us where we're at because he made us this way and because he loves us.
No visit to New Mexico is complete without some chili, and preferably cooked by a real-life New Mexican who also happens to be Vivian's mom, Patsy.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Woo! Making a feast for us. Yes, your mom delivers.
Patsy's specialty, deep-fried pork fat and skin, known as chicharrones.
Because pork and pork fat's not healthy enough. You gotta fry it.
Dip it in chili, and it's among the simplest and most explosively flavorful foods that'll ever melt in your mouth. Nothing says love quite like chicharrones and chili.
You made this? I love you. We got lots of chili going on, okay? So you guys are gonna keep the fryers fat and happy.
We're gonna keep them fried.
That just screams comfort food, right? I was instructed by the producer to offer to help. That's what I meant to do. I meant to drop my bag and say, how can I help? Okay, so this is the famous New Mexico chili.
Right.
So pull the stems off of these guys here.
And don't rub your eyes after you pull the stems off.
No.
No, don't do that. Power. No, maybe I can't do it. Hey. Look at this. I'm quite the chef. Woo! Oh yeah, happy fun, Jews. Yeah, okay, so 8 years here. Do you eat this stuff all the time?
Not as often as I'd like, no.
Yeah. You know, this is a workout right here.
The more you leave behind, the less you get to eat, so there you go.
Oh, all right.
All right.
We got these gorgeous things.
Okay, dip it in the egg.
Dip in the egg.
Father Joseph can do dry.
You can do the...
Father Joseph's dry.
Pass it.
There's lots of stuff.
That's okay, we got
It doesn't
this.
work that way, it's good.
Yeah.
Onto the plate. Keep going.
Boom. And now the deep fry part, right?
There you go, let it go. Woo! There you go.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
That's so easy.
Right? You think. It should be. Turn that over. Boom. Hey, I'm getting good at this. And I have not burned myself yet. Okay, what's this? These guys are done? Achille Rieno was born. How did I say that? Was that good? Achille Relena was born. We're gonna feed some hungry friars right now. Here, let's get that closer in case this thing falls apart.
Hungry crew.
I think so too. My crew is hungry.
It's like 300 degrees, so you don't want that.
Okay. Yeah, boy, right there. Look at that. Time to party. Woo! Oh man, I'm so excited about this.
Before we dig into our meal, meet my college classmate, Father Joseph. He's a legend around here, and for good reason. He loves nature, camping, hanging out with the young adults of Albuquerque, and riding a Harley whenever he can get his hands on one. But most of all, he loves living the life of poverty, prayer, and service that St. Francis lived.
How did you get into this whole thing?
I was raised in a devout Catholic family, so I grew up with the faith. And I never really questioned the truth of my faith, but I would say that at a certain point in my life, it kind of hindered what I wanted to do, what the world was saying would be fun and exciting, and so I kind of just abandoned my faith. I never disbelieved it, but I said, it's getting in the way of these fun things that I want to do. But I went full tilt into everything the world had to offer, and after drinking deeply of it, I found myself still thirsty. And I kind of asked the question, what else is there? So I said, maybe God, you know? So I gave God a chance. I invited him to my heart. I went on this retreat.
And this is a profound story, by the way. Because really, I mean, you had that awareness of your spiritual life, what was going on inside that most young people who drift away don't. That leap is huge. Mm-hmm. But then the leap from being a Christian who's living this out to a religious life, how did you hear that call?
I started going back to Mass and praying. I started helping out at the church, started doing youth ministry, all these different things. So I was at church like every day. I kind of thought to myself, like, man, I just love being at church. If there was only a job that I could get where I could be at church every day.
You got the job. It doesn't pay anything, but...
But I knew in my heart that's what the Lord was asking.
You didn't stop there.
No.
You know, eventually you left that community before you took vows, and you ended up a friar.
Yeah, basically, I met the friars going to World Youth Day in Denver in '93, and the friars were doing the spiritual direction on there, and I just met these guys, and they were like legit. They were funny. They were spontaneous. They loved being Catholic. There was nothing stuffy or fake about them. It was very real, but it was very joyful. And I think that was the thing that captured my heart and mind the most, was the joy of the brothers.
I know when you were away, your mom was praying hard to get you back to the Lord. I think she maybe prayed a little too hard, kind of overdid it. Your mom's with the Lord now.
Yes, yes.
Always a beautiful experience, obviously, if a kid is there when their parent passes, but as a priest, what was that like?
It was a gift from God. I was able to do the Easter Triduum by her bedside.
You prayed that Mass right by her bedside.
Yeah. And then on Easter Monday, and there was actually random people that had just been driving by, and they came in for Mass. So we had a room full of people and family members and friends. And my sister Regina, she was sitting next to my mother, and she was feeling her pulse, and she said, she's slipping, she's going. And so I'm saying Mass right by her bedside there. And at this point, I'm like, I gotta hurry up and try and get through Mass, you know, because it's coming, you know. And then right at the consecration, my sister just started crying, and she just looked up, and she's gone, you know. And everyone started weeping. But it was at that moment, right when I was lifting up the body of Christ, like knowing that her soul was being lifted up, you know, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was a great gift, great gift.
Oh man,
you know,
God.
so, and then she, I mean,
Mama's prayers were
if she could have scripted it, you know.
Oh, that's perfect.
You know, she would have loved it, you know, to have her to die during the mass, you know, with her son
With
as
her
a priest.
son by her bedside.
Yeah.
Praise God. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for living your life today.
Yeah, no worries, man. Good seeing you, brother. Man.
We knew our show wouldn't be complete without our trip in a hot air balloon, so we're back. And this time, the weather's perfect.
Turning vents?
Yeah, so I can spin it clockwise or counterclockwise in order to land facing forward.
So the simplicity. I mean, there's no more natural way to experience aviation, is there?
It's the purest form of aviation.
I never thought I'd be inside a hot air balloon.
Meet Neil, a New Mexican who finds God, perspective, peace, and just plain fun in a most amazing way by sharing the experience of floating quietly above the earth almost every day of his life with other people.
So it's basically a wicker basket, a flame, and a balloon. What could possibly go wrong? Now that I'm standing in here, the frontal lobe of my brain is saying, Chris, what are you doing? Stop, stop, stop. But I haven't, you know, I've gotten good at ignoring that.
It's strangely peaceful up here. You don't even get the sound of wind or feel a single gust. That's because you're in the wind, cooperating with it, moving right along with it. It's kind of like life when we cooperate with the grace of God.
So how many years have you been doing this?
I've been flying balloons about 18 years now.
And you haven't died yet?
Not yet.
So how do you steer this thing?
Well, we can't really steer it. All we can do is go to different elevations to try to pick up different wind currents. Generally at different altitudes, it's going slightly different directions, of course, unless it's all going the same way.
You know, it's a little better to not look straight down. So once you get over your brain telling you something's wrong, don't do this, what are you doing, stop, it's really a peaceful experience.
If it wasn't for this noise, but for me, it's a joyful noise.
Oh man, I love that.
And we don't hear it for a while.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. Can I shoot the flame?
Of course. He is the pilot in command.
I'm the pilot in command. Just don't ask me to land it. That'll be a problem.
A good Jewish grandpa, Neil finds a lot of peace up here. Says he even worships God in his heart while he's flying. And in addition to finding God, he sometimes dips his balloon down to find his family.
Emma!
My granddaughters, to my
Shut up, man.
others
No
right
way.
there in the
Get that.
right in the
That's amazing.
backyard. See them? That's them. That's my 3-year-old.
Where?
Backyard right there. Hey, Emmy. Hi, baby.
That's awesome. Coolest grandpa ever.
I try. I try really hard.
That.
The first form of manned aircraft, once you get over the terror, hot air balloons are an absolutely amazing way to take to the sky.
Okay, we talked about bending our knees.
Yep, bend your knees.
All that good stuff. Let's do that.
Oh, that was smooth, man. Yeah, dude, that was so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thanks for participating.
If I could sum up salvation history in one sentence, the God who loves us comes down to meet us right where we're at and to raise us up to where He is. He touched down in Nazareth 2,000 years ago, and He still comes to meet us today, taking care of our smallest needs, touching our tangible expressions of faith with His grace, making the dirt of daily life something holy, reaching out through our love to people in need, blessing a good meal, and in the end, He does it all so He can raise us up to life on high with Him. It's a life that starts now and never ends.
joining us on Real Life Catholic. Until next time, stay real.
The original name of Santa Fe is La Santa Fe de la Via Real de las...
The camera.
The Holy Faith. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Holy Faith. Okay.
One more time.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Marker. Bam! Okay, take over.
Chris, offer to help.
Yeah,